In this video, I'm going to explain to you how to prepare for your no-fault IME. New York State is a no-fault state. And what that means exactly is that back in the 70s, the legislature wanted to limit the number of car accident cases that were brought, so they enacted the no-fault law. So what the law provides is that if you are injured in a car accident, regardless of who is at fault for the accident, the insurance company of your vehicle will pay for your medical expenses and your lost wages and medical costs and any out-of-pocket expenses you have associated with the car accident. That applies to any passengers in your vehicle and pedestrians that you may strike. Now, in exchange for that, the law said in order to recover for personal injuries and pain and suffering from a car accident in New York State, you have to sustain what the law defines as a serious injury. And a serious injury is death, loss of a limb, which they refer to as dismemberment, a fracture, significant disfigurement, loss of a fetus, or a permanent consequential injury, significant limitation of use of a body function or system, or a medically determined injury that impairs your usual and customary daily activities for 90 out of 180 days immediately following the accident. So you get your medical treatment paid for, but in order to bring a claim for pain and suffering and personal injuries, you have to meet that definition of a serious injury in the insurance law. So what is an IME? IME stands for Independent Medical Examination. Now, this examination is conducted by the insurance company insuring the what we'll say is the host vehicle, and the purpose of the IME is to let the insurance company know whether they should pay for your medical treatment or continue to pay for your medical treatment, or if they should stop. So these doctors are hired by them to examine you to determine whether or not they should continue making payments for your medical treatment and other expenses from the car accident. So if you are seeing an orthopedist, they will send you to an orthopedist. If you're seeing a neurologist, they will send you to a neurologist. If you're seeing a chiropractor, they will send you to a chiropractor or a pain management specialist. And if you're seeing a multitude of them, they will send you to multiple IMEs. So it's in their best interest to find that you've reached maximum recovery, or that you're better, and or that you never had an injury, so they don't have to pay for your treatment. So there are two important things that you need to know about this. One is you only have 30 days from the date of the accident to file an application for no-fault benefits. And if you don't do that, the insurance company will never pay for your medical expenses or your treatment, and it won't matter how badly injured you are, and you'll never get to the point of having an independent medical examination. The other thing you need to know is there's a short window in which the time from you file the application for benefits, you start your treatment, up until the time where they send you for the exam. I've had clients just this week, had a client who had an accident in May, and she went to her IME on August 4th. So it's a very short window, and you need to make sure you have everything in order. That being said, the second thing you need to know is that if the doctor suggests you have certain tests done, an MRI, or a CAT scan, whatever it is, they refer you to another specialist, do so before the exam. Because once you have the exam and they cut off the treatment, you're not going to be able to have the insurance company pay for these tests. So it's important that you get these tests done before the exam. You also don't have to go to the first exam. They generally will allow one postponement, and it's best that you get that postponement and delay the examination as long as you can. They won't let you do it indefinitely, but they will give you at least one post-moment of the examination. And again, you want to do that because you want the insurance company to pay for as much treatment as possible. And there are limits as to what they will pay. Well, we're not going to get into that in this video. We'll make another video talking about what no fault is, what they cover, and what the limits would be. But the way the process works is within 30 days, you're going to file the application for your no fault benefits. Right? At some point, you will get a letter from the insurance company saying you've been scheduled to meet with this doctor and be examined. If you do not have an attorney, you should call an attorney and should consult with one. If you have an attorney, call your attorney and make sure that they receive the same letter and that they know what's going on, and give them an update with respect to your treatment as well. But in New York State, personal injury attorneys representing people in car accidents are paid on a contingency fee. So they only get paid if there is a recovery. So it does not cost you anything to pick up the phone or go on the internet and call someone and tell them that you were in a car accident, you got this letter from the insurance company that want you to go for an examination, now what do you do? That is very crucial. And if you're watching this video, that's great. I love that you're watching the video. Hit like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, but it is not a substitute for speaking with your attorney and preparing your specific case, specifically for this IME that you're going to go to. So I implore you to please call your attorney and speak with them before going on an IME, or at least consult with somebody. In preparing for the IME, what do you need to do? Well, you want to dress appropriately. You want to make sure that you're well groomed. You want to be early for the examination, about 10, maybe 15 minutes early. Make sure you bring with you some sort of photo ID, because when you go into the doctor's office, the first thing they're going to ask for is some photo ID to make sure it's you that is showing up. They'll give you some paperwork to fill out. So the paperwork is generally a questionnaire. The questions are pretty limited, but you need to fill it out because it's your insurance company and you have an obligation to cooperate with your insurance company, especially if you want them to pay for your treatment and your out-of-pocket expenses. So you're going to complete the questionnaire. When it comes to talking about the accident, be general. You don't need to give them specific information about how fast you were going, what direction you were traveling. It's a general description about how the accident occurred. And then you want to tell them your injuries. The doctors and their staff will observe you from the moment you walk into their office to the moment that you leave. So if you walk in and you look fine, they're going to make a note of that. If you walk in and you're limping and you're having difficulty moving around, they will make a note of that. Once you complete the form, the doctor will call you in to be examined. Now these examinations last 5, maybe 10 minutes tops, right? And what the doctors are doing is they're observing you on how you walk into the office, how you get on the examining table. I've seen doctors ask patients, can you take off your shoes? They watch how you take off your shoes or take off your jacket. You know, if you have a shoulder injury and you're limited in how you take off your jacket, they will make a note of that. And if you're claiming that you have a shoulder injury or you have a back injury and you just whip off your jacket and you bend down and you take off your shoes and you show no signs of difficulty, the doctor's going to make a note of that, right? And then they'll conduct an examination. And the different specialties will conduct different types of examinations and do different tests, but in a lot of ways they are similar. You know, if you have a neck or back injury, a shoulder injury, a knee injury, one thing they'll always do is a range of motion test. So they want to see your range of motion. Lift up, turn. They may take out some tools to measure how well you're turning or what you're limited in doing. So you know they will do that. But one thing you need to be careful of is while they're doing the examination, they will try to have a conversation with you, right? And they will try to catch you off guard to see how you move and how your range of movement is while they're not doing what you think is an examination. So just be careful of that. Right? The doctors will try to ask you limited yes or no questions. Don't be caught up in that. All right, this is your time to let the insurance company doctors know what you've been experiencing, right? And if you go back to the beginning of the video, I mentioned one of the categories to establish that you have a serious injury is that you have a medically determined injury that prevents you from performing your usual and customary daily activities for 90 out of 180 days immediately following the accident. So the doctor doesn't know what your usual and customary daily activities are, so you need to tell them. You need to tell them, right? And if your usual and customary daily activities consist of walking your dog every morning or every night, doing landscaping, doing any household chores, going to work, going to school, going to the gym, and the doctor, your doctor said you can't do this, then you need to let this doctor know that you were limited in doing these activities for that period of time, because that is crucial. Because if you can establish that with medical documentation, you'll be able to establish that you have a serious injury, and the insurance company doctor is not going to know what your activities were and what you were limited in doing. So you need to tell them. You need to elaborate on the things that are causing you pain and limitations in what you normally do. Another thing the doctors will try to do is ask you, are you taking any medication? And most people just assume that means any prescription medication. That means over-the-counter medication as well. So you need to let the doctor know what you're doing to treat your pain and bring that out. So these doctors are there to make a determination as to whether the insurance company should be continuing to pay for your treatment and your expenses. So it is up to you to make everything, even if you think it's little, known to them, so they know, because they are not on your side. They cannot prescribe treatment for you. They cannot prescribe any medication for you. Their goal is not to relieve your pain or make you better. Their goal is one thing: to tell the insurance company to pay or not pay for your expenses as a result of the car accident. So if you don't take this opportunity to let them know, they're not going to know, and the insurance company will cut off your benefits. Now, with all of this being said, the number one thing I can tell you is always be truthful. Always be truthful. Don't exaggerate. Don't make anything up. You need to be as honest as possible, because if you are not, it will come back to haunt you in many, many ways. You will lose the underlying case. Your benefits will be cut off, and who knows, if it's significant enough, you can be charged with insurance for it. So don't ever lie, and don't mislead your attorneys, because we can deal with the truth if we know what the truth is. But if you're making stuff up and you're covering things, there's nothing we can do about that. So you need to always be truthful with your attorneys, with your doctors, with the insurance company doctors, and if you do that, we can deal with anything. So make sure you do that, please. If you have prior or subsequent injuries, don't hide it, because they're going to find out about it anyway. You need to, again, you need to be honest about it, and you need to let your attorneys make the distinctions between what existed previously and what was caused by this accident. And you know what? We can do it. We can do it. There are ways we can do it. if this particular accident actually made your injuries worse. We can do it. So the best advice I can give you, whether it's in this or any other video, is always be truthful. And if you found this information helpful, please hit the like button on the video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this and tips on your personal injury cases or your nursing home injury cases. And if you ever have any questions, please look us up online at RizzutoLawFirm.com or give us a call at 1-855-RIZZUTO. We are always happy to answer your questions, and if we can't, we'll find somebody that can. But if you're calling about a car accident or any personal injury case, we're going to be able to answer your questions. So we look forward to speaking with you. I hope you found this information helpful, and you guys all have a great day and look out for more videos. Thanks.